Hey there, restaurant pros. David Scott Peters here, creator of the Restaurant Prosperity Formula and your coach. Have you ever found yourself going to the last page of your profit and loss statement just to see if you made or lost money? Have you ever been disappointed at the final number and just said your favorite F word while throwing it on your desk? Oh, and that's about all you do, right? If you want to understand a restaurant budget and how to build your plan to profitability and freedom, don't go anywhere. Hey, if you like tips and tricks like this, do me a favor and hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, oh yeah, that bell, so you're notified when my next video comes out. And if you want more tips and tricks for running a profitable restaurant or listen to restaurant success stories, make sure you tune into my podcast, Restaurant Prosperity Formula, found on all your popular podcasting services. Now let's talk about putting together your budget. See, your P&L, as we talked about at the beginning, that's a rearview mirror. We look at that final number and go, oh crap. But how about creating your proactive plan for success? How do we do that? Well, we start, no matter what month you're in, grabbing the trailing 12 months numbers. That's our history, the past year. Don't wait till it's January or December, if you will. Make sure no matter what month you're in, you're going to say, start going forward the next 12 months. So we need the last 12 months, our rear view mirror, that profit and loss statement to know where we've been, because we're about to put a proactive plan in position, right into a place for us to be successful. Well, we start off with grabbing each month's sales for the trailing 12 months. Yes, I know that things are different. Maybe you're coming out of the pandemic and those last year numbers aren't any good, but it is a measurement to how you performed. So we put those numbers in. Then we look at our sales and we go to our point of sale system or our P&L or a spreadsheet. And we find out that 80% of our sales were food sales and so on, breaking it up by category: food, bottled beer, draft beer, wine, liquor, merchandise. Then we go to cost of goods sold and we find out what our food cost is running for the last year. Our bottled beer, draft beer, wine, liquor, and so on, what those percentages are, unless we changed our menu, say 3 months ago, and we know that we've improved. We want to make that change what we're more recently doing. What are our cost of goods sold looking like now? Our labor costs, making sure we're splitting up to our fixed costs of salaried managers, our hourly costs by percentage. That's our hourly managers. For a full service restaurant, our servers, our bussers, our hosts, our bar backs, our bartenders, our line cooks, our prep cooks, our dishwashers, maintenance. You get the picture? Well, I need to know what percentage of sales those labor targets have been running. Again, if you've made improvements in the last 3 months because you made a pivot, we're going to use those more recent numbers. Otherwise, we're looking at a full year. Then we go to our operating expenses. Has it been a fixed or variable expense? So for instance, if I pay $10,000 a month in rent, that's a fixed expense. If my rent is 7% as a variable lease, then it's 7%, goes up and down with sales. Go line by line by line, looking at every expense and determine, is it a fixed or variable? Again, for instance, my power bill may be a fixed expense, even though we're gonna kind of average it out for the year, because it is variable based on weather, not sales. But I look at my paper supplies and say that's 2 points of my sales. So as I get busier, I use more paper. As I get slower, I use less paper, but as a percentage of sales, it's 2%. Then, when I set up a budget, I'm going to set it up as quasi-cash accrual. Accrual at the top, sales when they happen, cost of goods sold based on inventories, labor as it happens, but down line by line, kind of as cash, as the payments happen. So I'm not going to put in interest expense, amortization, depreciation. In fact, I'm going to put the full SBA loan payment, my EIDL money, that payment that goes in there. I'm going to put anybody I owe money to, the actual payment, because I want to see what my cash looks like as well. So it's not really a perfect world when it comes to accounting, but when it comes to planning, it's a perfect world. Now, once I do that, the next step is create that plan. Well, based on my last 12 months, here's what I'm actually going to do if I keep doing the same thing I've always done. But you need to create a plan for success to change your reality. So let's say we put together the last 12 months, that we say we're going to do that the next 12 months. We're going to make or lose money. I want you to look at that and say, that's not what I deserve. And then we start putting a plan in place. How are we going to change our menu to reduce our food costs? What systems are we going to implement on the line to reduce our food costs, to prevent theft, to prevent waste? to order on budget. And as the months go by, we start lowering that number down based on the system we put in place and when we're going to hold management accountable to it. How are we going to reduce labor? How are we going to reduce some of the expenses line by line by line when we notice our janitorial is way out of control because we're not paying attention to it? Well, now I've kind of got this crystal ball to what I can do to lower my expenses and increase my profitability. And once I have that budget, here's the magic. You may go and say, that which you measure improves now is a reality. You have your budget, you have your P&L, we put them side by side, and then we see that, hey, in month one, no matter what month that is, we were supposed to make $14,000, but instead we made $7,000. Something didn't happen as planned, meaning our sales could have been lower, our expenses could have been higher, whatever it may be. The first thing I want to do is look, and are my managers actually using the systems I put in place to control those numbers to make this proactive plan a reality? If they're not, I'm going to hold them accountable, retrain them, and make changes to the next 11 months. Small changes to get myself back on path to make that $7,000 back up. What if my managers were actually using the systems and I still didn't hit my plan? What new systems am I going to put in place and to change my reality over the next 11 months without giving up guest satisfaction, without cutting product quality, without going against your core values? I'm going to make that $7,000 back because I'm going to make these small adjustments through the rest of the year. And every month going further, we measure budgeted versus actual. We go through the same process and we proactively change the budget. It's not one and done. See, most of you had a budget once when you first opened your restaurant, when you asked for money. But see, your budget is incredibly important because it allows you to measure your success and change your plan. See, by creating your budget, you're actually creating your plan for success, not somebody else's, not some industry average, your plan. And you're going to have the ability to measure your success. And more importantly, you're going to be able to change your plan and stay on your path to success. See, if you want to achieve restaurant prosperity, freedom from your restaurant, and the financial freedom you deserve, then a budget is a must. It is a must to be a part of your restaurant profitability toolbox. You want to change your life, you want to change your numbers, a budget is a must. If you're tired of not being able to leave your restaurant because no one else knows how to run it, I want to make sure you know it doesn't have to be that way. You can leave your restaurant. It is possible to build a team of people who know how you want the restaurant to run. With these trained and responsible people in place, you can give yourself time away. What would you do if you had time away from your restaurant? Would you sleep better? Would your relationships improve? Would you feel more relaxed? These are all things you deserve to experience as a business owner. It's why we own our own businesses. If you would like to learn how to own a restaurant that doesn't depend on you to be successful, click the link in the description to watch a free training course that teaches you exactly what you have to do. Also, be sure to subscribe to get my weekly tips and watch these 2 videos to get more information and guidance for running a successful restaurant.